Joining us now on the phone lines, he covers the New York Mets for NJ.com. It is Matt Ehalt joining us. And Matt, let's get things underway with this. Granderson back in the lineup. Yoenis Cespedes back in the lineup just earlier this week. The chances, we'll put it from 0 to 100. 100 being it's going to happen, 0, no chance at all. That the New York Mets still have a chance to be in the playoffs in 2017.
I don't think they're going to be out of it. I mean, I think they're going to hang around. I think they're going to be on the peripheral all season. So, I wouldn't count them out. I don't think they're going to be huge contenders. I think too much is going to have to go right for them to make that move. But, I just don't see them falling out of the race.
Matt, with the Mets maybe staying in the race, do you think they'll be sellers at all going forward? And who do you expect to be possibly moving out of New York?
I would think that they will be sellers. I don't think it's going to be a full-blown sale. I don't know how many of these guys that they're going to be able to completely, some of these guys have kind of prohibitive contracts, but, I would think Addison Reed would be the easiest sell. A lot of teams need relief help, and certainly he's a guy who's shown he can, succeed in the late innings, and he's, on an expiring contract. Some of the other guys, like, Granderson and stuff, the problems there is just with the contracts. Teams might not be willing to, for the kind of the 35-year-olds who, to be fair, I'm not sure if Curtis Granderson's a difference maker at this point. They might not be as willing to give up, the premium guys.
With guys like that being mentioned, we look towards the New York Yankees. Is the Yankees the team maybe most likely to be active with the Mets when it comes to the deadline?
Those teams rarely make trades, so I would not assume that. But, certainly due to that makes a ton of sense for the two sides if they could ever match up.
Matt Ehalt joining us now, NJ.com. He covers the New York Mets here on Levack Goz on 104.5. The team, Bartolo Colon. That's another guy. He's no longer going to be a former New York Met, a former Atlanta Brave, and all of this. Could we see Bartolo Colon ending up somewhere in New York here in the next few days?
Yeah, first, just want to say it's NorthJersey.com. But, yeah, he certainly, signs point to a possible reunion there. It just makes sense. It's, certainly it would be based more in sentimental than his actual results this year because, he's got an 80 ERA. But, you look at the back end of the Mets bullpen, none of those guys are exactly thriving. You bring Bartolo in, maybe, the classic change of scenery, and he can take off there. Yeah, I don't see a downside to the move. I think it could pay off. I certainly think it's something the Mets, I would not be surprised to see Bartolo in New York shortly.
Interesting there. The Bartolo fans would be on for sure. One of the most polarizing figures for sure. Who knows if he'll bring that power back bat as well to New York going forward. How about the minor league guys, the prospects there for the New York Mets? Is there anybody in particular that maybe the Mets have to say he's an untouchable, he can't be moved, or at least someone comes up to the ranks here in the next few weeks that could bring a spark to the lineup?
Well, certainly Ahmed Rosario's the guy. He's the guy they've been grooming to take over at short. He's been playing real well, so he's kind of the guy that they'll get at shortstop. You would think in the near future. He's kind of the untouchable. Dom Smith, if they ever wanted to go big game hunting, he would be the next guy. Although certainly some scouts are not completely convinced on him. But certainly it seems Rosario's the one guy.
You mentioned Rosario. Now I've heard rumors that Jose Reyes has been mentoring Ahmed Rosario. Is that true?
Yeah. The two of them have a very close relationship, and they contact and they stay in touch with one another.
Is that the guy that Mets fans would want to be kind of mentoring Rosario as he becomes the shortstop of the future?
Well, you got to remember, certainly, Jose, certainly Jose made some bad life decisions, recently. But, Jose was in that situation that that Ahmed Rosario in, where he was a young touted prospect trying to get better. So, from just a strictly on the field perspective, the two of them kind of have similar paths, he's the guy he could learn from.
Joining us now, Matt Ehalt from NorthJersey.com on the phone lines with us on 104.5, theteam.com. We see guys now rehabbing as well. What's the latest on Jacob deGrom and Michael Conforto?
deGrom's starting tonight. Michael Conforto will be with, they are hoping that he'll be with the team tomorrow, activated for the final two games here, and then they can go from there. So that's kind of where things stand with him. He's, I think, scheduled to rejoin the team tonight in St. Louis.
How about Tim Tebow? I'm sure you're sick and tired of hearing that question, but when you have a minor league setup, we have to ask about Tebow. What's the latest on Tebow and the Mets?
He's been playing better since he got promoted to Port St. Lucie. He's drawing some crowds. I mean, he's going to be a polarizing player no matter where he ends up. And he's certainly bringing some crowds and stuff. But certainly he's going to have to prove he can actually, thrive because, you look at his numbers, the Mets did call him up, but I mean, certainly his production in the minor leagues was not anything that really truly warranted a promotion. But, the Mets are Mets will see what he can continue to do at a higher level here.
We look forward to the rest of the season here with the New York Mets, and the question Mets fans may wonder is the future of Terry Collins. Is there a magic number? Does he have to hit a certain spot? What happens now with Terry Collins going forward for the rest of the season?
I'd be stunned if he, I would truly be stunned if he doesn't finish the season. It's the last year of his contract. To be honest, this team, the manager is not making a difference here. This team is undermanned. It's underperformed. They're 5-21 against the division leaders. I mean, they're just not a good team. I mean, this is kind of what this team is. So to put this on Terry certainly seems a little, trying to find a scapegoat. I think he's going to finish. And you know what? After what Terry's done the last 2 years, frankly, he does deserve the chance to, finish this out on his own terms.
Even though his plane gets delayed, he's still tweeting like a madman. He's still taking time for us. Matt Ehalt of NorthJersey.com. We appreciate your time, man. Best of luck and continue the great work.
All right. Thanks a lot for having me today. I appreciate it.